Welcome to the CX Live Dialogues. I'm delighted to have with us today Matthew Clare, the VP of Product Marketing at UJET. As the VP for Product Marketing, Matthew drives GTM strategy and growth. With a career spanning leadership roles at Google and Mitel, he leverages his deep industry expertise to bridge product and sales, delivering the strategic vision and execution necessary for global scale. Welcome, Matt. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited for the conversation.
Likewise. Now, with the continuous integration of AI in customer service, what strategies do you recommend for organizations to strike the right balance between automation and maintaining a personalized human touch in their interactions with customers?
Yeah, this is a great question and one that's very near and dear to my heart as an early adopter on the vendor side of AI tech as far back as 2017. I think first and foremost, we have to get past this lie that the market has been telling, which is humans and the cost of humans in contact center and customer experience are the number one challenge, and that challenge can be resolved with automation and AI. I think there's plenty of data now that says that hasn't really panned out the way that people expected it to. There's hidden costs of AI that cause ROI to be challenged at times. And we've actually seen with the latest generative capabilities, the cost of AI is getting so expensive now that some organizations are actually bringing back their humans because the cost is almost equal at the cost per interaction level. So I think this balance is, all of that is to say this balance is more important than ever before, because the reality is there's customers like me as a consumer. I don't want to talk to people. I want to self-serve at every opportunity I get, but I recognize that there are conversations that require human connection or empathy, and like humans are all of that is to say humans are not going away. So when you think about how to strike the balance, I'll start with like people and process. And I think the one thing that a lot of organizations get wrong is they actually don't ask their consumers what they want automated. Like I've been kind of preaching this over the last quarter of the year at several events I've done, polling audiences, how many of you actually asked your customers what workflows they'd like automated before you implemented AI? And nobody puts their hand up. I think like grounding yourself in what your customers actually expect from you as a provider allows you obviously to tailor to those expectations. The second thing, more on the product side, and UJET as a kind of AI CX provider, is there's a lot of great new technologies out there, specifically on the conversational analytics side of things, that can allow you as an organization to really get to like the root cause of customer conversations and customer feedback. And buried within that root cause and those conversations, you're going to get, again, very grounded in an understanding of what's a high value conversation, i.e. things that require empathy, things that have monetary ramifications, right? Revenue implications, churn implications, cross-sell, upsell implications. And those are the types of conversations, generally speaking, those are the types of conversations that we want to keep with humans. Whereas on the low value side, these are the like highly mundane, repeatable, things that password resets, checking my bank balance, etc., things like that, that should never require a human because you don't need that touch. So the most important thing, the key takeaway here is humans are the ones that drive trust, loyalty, customer relationships, and lifetime customer value. If a conversation isn't ticking one of those boxes, feel free to automate it.
That's a really nice perspective, Matt, and it leads very nicely into the next question that I had. And that is, how is AI shaping CX to predict and proactively fulfill human needs before they even arise?
Yeah, great question. Outbound, I think I'll start by saying that outbound interactions are not new, right? We've, as long as like 20, 30 years ago, people were calling, telling you that you've won a cruise or getting appointment reminders, etc. AI has obviously sped this up made the conversations from an outbound perspective more natural than they've ever been before. But I think what's really interesting when we think of this like proactive is a trend that's happening within both organizations that are kind of customer experience centers, contact center type environments, and also within tech as a whole, which is there's been this fundamental understanding and shift away from the CRM or the case management system, the ticketing system being the center of gravity. And so what we're seeing is a lot of organizations moving to more modern technologies, data lakes, customer data platforms, et cetera, where they're unifying all their customer and business data such that they can actually provide more proactive service, more contextual service, more personalized service. So that fundamentally behind the scenes, if you think of contact centers, like there's been 10, 20 systems within any customer interaction may be used, and every one of those is an individual data silo. So by getting this consolidation, you're able basically to act more quickly, more personally, more contextual on that customer and business data, which plays a huge role in proactive. What the next thing I'll say here is that we're actually starting to see a shift away. I mentioned conversational analytics, and UJET has a platform called Spiral that uses AI and machine learning and LLMs to really get like deep understanding of customer conversations and feedback. And what we're seeing customers actually use this for is not just to optimize human performance and virtual agent performance, but to actually eliminate the need for interactions altogether. And I think this is where, AI can truly transform. This isn't just about automating workloads. This is making sure that like, hey, if we have a problem with our product or service, we're breaking down the silos between contact center folks and engineering such that we're resolving problems so customers never need to interact in the first place. So I think this fundamental mind shift, again, driven by AI technology behind the scenes, is really helping customers drive towards this idea of like contact elimination, if you will.
Certainly. And this is obviously tying very well into the rise of omni-channel experiences as we're observing, which are transforming customer interactions. Now, how can businesses effectively integrate various channels to create a seamless and cohesive customer journey? And what role does technology play in achieving this integration?
I mean, technology plays the role. So I think if you think of the contact center evolution from pre-2000s to now, very much so went from call center to contact center to customer experience center, if you will, now. And as part of that, we went from very voice-centric interactions to more digital interactions. We called them multimedia once upon a time. And now we're talking about omni-channel. And the whole concept of omni-channel is this seamless shift between channels, right? I start a web chat, you need to call on the back end, that's all linked as like a case level view. So things are very seamless, things are very easy to report on from the back end. You're getting all that information about the customer journey. Achieving omni-channel with multiple platforms, I'd actually argue is not possible. You need a platform like UJET CCaaS platform that provides all the channels, the ability to seamlessly shift between channels, multimodal capabilities on top of omni-channel now, where if I'm on a voice call and I need to share a picture or a document, I'm able to do that within the interaction without ever losing context. Ultimately, that data is being used to lower handle times, increase first contact resolution, et cetera. But none of that is possible when you have like an email platform, a chat platform, a voice platform. And so this is where, I think there's a huge argument to be made for like single vendor solutions, specifically on the omni-channel side of things, just so you can break down those walls and those boundaries and provide that really holistic kind of seamless experience.
Certainly. Finally, how are new technologies empowering human agents to deliver exceptional and empathetic customer service?
Yeah, this is a great question. If we think of, again, the history of AI, we saw early AI agent assist tools show up probably 2016, 2018 in that time frame. And they were very static moment in time assistants, right? Based on the conversation, I'm going to suggest you a knowledge article. You got to click to the knowledge article, read the knowledge article, and then respond to me as a human. With the rise of generative AI and LLMs, Agent Assist is much faster, much smarter, less clicks, right? Providing more information to the point where it's almost step-by-step coaching now, the way that a supervisor would traditionally coach an agent through silent monitoring capabilities, for example. But fundamentally, Agent Assist has not solved what we at UJET believe is the #1 problem within contact centers over the last decade, which is human agents on average use 4 to 10 tools to do their jobs. I visited one of the largest retailers in North America last year and got to sit with their top tier contact center agents. And the agent started by telling me, oh, we have one tool that we work out of. And over the next 4 hours, I watched that contact center agent, who was a top performer, use about 12 to 16 tools through an interaction. I saw them consult Word documents on their desktop. I saw them flip to physical notebooks on their table, on their desk, looking for notes. And so where AI is really starting to transform the human-assisted side of things, providing more personal, empathetic, and most importantly, contextual customer care, is truly getting to this single pane of glass experience that has long been sought in the contact center. So just last week, UJET announced a new capability that we're building and launching called Agentic Experience Orchestration. And the whole idea here is it's a persistent AI layer that lives on top of your CCaaS platform, such that we ingest your conversations, we automate the build out of virtual agents for you based on those conversations. We give you virtual agents to kind of do the chores, if you will, right? Do those low value, mundane, repeatable tasks. When things escalate to a live human, the virtual agent stays in that conversation, thereby becoming an AI assistant. And where things get really different here is in 2 ways. We're actually using AI to bring in third-party workflow capabilities to the agent desktop, such that if somebody has a question about billing, I don't need to say, please hold, I need to go to my billing tool. Oh, I got to punch in your information again. Can you give me your account number? You know, whether it's billing, shipping, like all these various tools that contact center agents do to use their job, we're now able to automate those from a single pane of glass where you're executing workflows with clicks instead of, you know, this classic swivel chair that's happened in contact center, causing customer frustration, employee frustration, increasing handle times, etc. And then we actually take it one step farther where we're using modern capability called computer using agents. And these use LLM models behind the scenes and AI to basically see your screen, observe your computer screen, understand the exact pixels and clicks for what that agent needs to do, and perform autonomous actions. And the real value here is we're actually able to perform back office kind of system integration without the need for traditional APIs. So removing all the complexity, all the professional services, and, you know, traditional systems integration work that would normally be required to do workflow automation in the back office, we're now able to leverage AI to do that.
Sounds incredibly exciting. Thank you, Matt. It's been a pleasure to have you join us today. And we look forward to meeting you and the UJET team at the Customer Experience Live Show in Manchester in July. Until then, stay safe.
Thank you.